Okay, in today's tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to work with middleware. Okay, and middleware is something that you will use a lot when you get into bigger and complex projects. So the best example right now would be like if you had to create a custom authentication system. That is a good example in which you would use a middleware, so that if you had to give access to certain routes in your backend, you would need to check if the user is logged in first or not. So to do that, you would use a middleware to first check if the user is logged in and then allow the user to go to that route. So first, you should create a folder called middleware, and in this you can just create a file. Okay, I don't really have any specific thing to check when it comes to this in this example, I mean. So I'm just gonna say demo.middleware.js just to keep things simple. Okay, because this is not to show you how you would use this with some specific thing. This is just the basic concept of how middlewares work. So I'm just gonna say this for now. Okay, and here what you're gonna do is dot export and exports and equal to this, and I'm gonna create a simple function constant and check, I'll just say, just to see if something is given to us, is equal to an arrow function. This can be a simple function or an arrow function, this is up to you. Okay, and this here, this has 3 parameters. Okay, because unlike controllers which have 2 parameters, which is a request and response, this has 3, and I'll tell you why the third one is important. But for now, the first one is rec, which is short for request, and res, which is short for response. You can write the full name if you want. This is just how I write it. This is a short way. And the third one is next. Okay, so the request and response basically work the same way. Okay, and I'll get to these 3 later. First, I'm going to show you where you need to apply your middleware. Okay, let me just add it here first. And where is it? Here, the routes. Okay, so this is the area where you're going to add your middleware. Okay, now there are 2 ways to add middlewares. One is to here use a router dot use. Okay, and then just add the middleware right here. See, I've gotten the middleware and I've added it here. So this is the first way of doing it, but most of the time this is how you're gonna do it. You're gonna add this in the middle. So what this is going to do is first run the middleware and then let you go further to your controller. That's how a middleware works. So I'm gonna save this for now, and here I'm gonna do a constant, let me say something like auth. Okay, that's just to show you that if I had something, how would it work. So I'm gonna get this and I'm gonna console log this auth, and I'm gonna open up my terminal just to show you, and I'm gonna save this. And here, when I am going to the posts, right, when I'm going to my posts API, I'm going to send in the body, and I'm gonna say auth here. I'm gonna add allowed. Okay, just something simple, and I'm gonna send this, and as you can see, we are getting allowed, which we ended up sending, and this is the same thing you can do with controllers as well. But if you see here, we're stuck in the processing part of the request, and this is something that you can fix by doing two things, and it depends on your approach. One is, let's say in your middleware you just want to check something here in this part of the backend only, and let's say you just want to send a response, and I'm gonna say dot send, and I'm just gonna send in a string saying allowed to proceed. So I'm gonna save this, and I'm gonna cancel this request. Okay, so as soon as it starts, okay, now if I send this, you're seeing that I am getting the information from my middleware and I'm getting a response back. But this request is to get the posts that I have in my MongoDB database, which you were seeing before in previous tutorials. Right now, it's just stopping here. So how am I supposed to proceed forward to get the posts controller to send me the data? So to do that, what you do here is not do this one, and two, because you can only send one response at a time. Okay, you can't send multiple responses back. I want to make that first clear. So the way you're going to get the posts controller's response is to add a turn and next. Okay, because this is a function, by the way. And I'm going to save this, and now you won't see this or it being stuck in the loading process. And as you can see, we are getting our posts information from our database because we are able to make the request to this right here, this post get controller that we have. So this is how middleware works. And with this, let's say you weren't really getting this, right? Let's say you were getting you were checking something, right? You had some kind of system. You could do something like if auth is equal to allowed. And again, this is not good practice. I just want to make that clear. This is just for example purposes, okay? So I want to copy this, and I'm gonna say else do this, okay? Otherwise, do this. Actually, you know what? I don't really need this, if logically speaking. If it is allowed, then I just want you to move forward. If it is not allowed, then do this. I'm gonna change this message. I'm gonna say not allowed. Okay, so right now I'm sending in allowed, so I should be getting this information back. And as you can see, I'm getting the information back. Let's say I change this to not allowed. and you can see that I'm getting not allowed, that I don't have access to that controller. Okay, so this is kind of how you use middleware to do different types of things. So this was a tutorial on middlewares. I hope you liked this tutorial. Like, comment, and subscribe to stay updated about tutorials like this. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.